and this one, and there we go. There we go. And the final one. There you are. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man? It's been a while. You looking good?
Whoa! That is some volume. That'll wake everybody up. How dare you watch this show lethargic? There's
Goddamn
probably
right.
there's probably very few people actually watching it at the moment because I pulled a fast one on everybody, and I gotta take these cans off. I pulled a fast one on everybody and switched over most of our streaming stuff to the dedicated Hacker Rehab accounts instead of my accounts. That's not to say I'm not gonna rebroadcast them through mine, but I'd kind of rather people start gravitating towards the Hacker Rehab specific accounts, especially for the weekend shows. Just because it's like a different thing. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep.
my thing is crazy and insane, and it takes 6 hours. This thing is like 2-3 hours tops. But shout out to Mubak, by the way, in the chats. Good to have you, buddy. Very good to have you, and glad you can make it for the stream. It's 2 a.m. there for you. Let me look at my wall of clocks. You must be in. Well, I guess I won't dox you.
Did you fix the
There's,
ticking?
there's actually not. Yeah, the wall of ticking. There's actually not that many places it could be. So, but either way, uh, my wall of clocks is here to save the day, at least for me, and ruin yours apparently. But no, Mubak's good people. I would never fuck with them.
Yeah,
Uh,
we don't crab people here.
yeah, there is a no crabbing zone. And speaking of which, the person and people that you hear on the airwaves at the moment are your pal Nathan and also Curious. Curious.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
How's your weekend been, dude? Or
It's been
week?
real damn hot over here.
What's
Went
up?
by the lake, had a nice little picnic with the family. It was a good day, man. It was a good day.
Are you're not shitting me? You had a good like like all American kind of barbecue weekend so far?
It was good so far. And
Fucking
tomorrow with
A.
Father's Day, it's going to bring even more people together. It's going to be a good time.
Oh, that's right. It is Father's Day, isn't it? I would know this if I had one. Oh,
It's never too late.
see, wow, that's funny. It's not too late. I I gotta tell my boyfriend that one. He's gonna really fucking laugh his balls off. You'll hear it. I'm gonna tell him before the show's over so you can hear him laughing. But that's really funny, dude. I like that. I truly actually forgot that it was Father's Day though. Just because like I literally um I just it's not a thing in my life. Mother's Day really isn't either. I'll be honest. It's just it's not anything sad either. It's just I'm not all about um the Hallmark kind of holidays. And I get that once you get like a family and stuff, it becomes a thing. It becomes important, right? But I'm at the stage still that I don't quite have to worry about it yet, which is I'm soaking it in as much as possible because I know one of these days,
One of these days.
it's gonna get terrible. I'm just kidding. I'm sure having a family's great. Uh, so I figured we were kind of debating on whether or not we would do this show, and I figured, fuck it, let's do it. Um, we've been kind of kicking back and forth the idea of, and by we I mean the Illuminati, have been kicking back and forth the idea of a show. This laptop's gonna fall, and you're gonna hear it, and it's gonna be great. There's one sitting on the perch of my chair. Anyways, the Illuminati, we got together and we decided that it's probably best to do a show on Friday and Saturday instead of Saturday and Sunday, at least for us in the USA. And it's mainly because of people that are in the UK, people that are in pretty much everywhere else. Like, as I look at my wall of clocks, I said clocks,
Oh man.
not
I mean, there's nothing wrong with a
cocks.
wall of cocks.
If I can figure out a way to work like cocks into that, like maybe take the minute
The
and
hands.
hour fans out and like just put little cocks in there. All right, now it's
That'd be fucking great.
now it's a wall of cocks.
Just make it all pride themed wall of cocks that tell you the time.
That's what I'll. That's yeah, the go-to get out of jail free card. It's for pride.
There you go.
Obviously, are you discriminating against me? um, but yeah. Anyways, so for all our buddies that are like in the UK and like I have a clock that says most of the EU, and I'm starting to learn UTC times and all that. But you guys are at 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. for Moscow. I know we got buddies from Russia and Ukraine, and I figure let's make it easy on them to check the show out, not have to check out
It's
just solely.
there you go. Obviously.
Wait, do we have somebody else on?
Um, but yeah. Anyways, so for all our buddies that are like in the UK and like I have a we're hearing playback through you, man. You
Who is
and I'm
that?
starting to learn UTC times and all
I
that.
didn't fucking touch anything, so it can't be me. Yeah,
No, it's not you.
oh, I
Call.
see. One of our other buddies joined, and
It's
he
it's
he
the other
outed
part of the
himself.
Illuminati.
Fucking crebbed by your own microphone.
What's cracking, lads?
How's
Hey,
it
what's up,
going,
man?
my dude?
Yeah, nothing much.
Right on. Nice, nice. It is tomorrow where you're at.
It is indeed. I speak from the future.
That's what it.
It's still
says.
terrible.
Yes.
It's still terrible. Oh fuck.
Spoiler alert. It's yeah. No, no.
It.
Spoiler alert: Trump's still orange and fucking bad.
I'm gonna actually work on. Let me see if I can tile you guys real quick. I don't think I can in Google Hangouts, but I bet I can in Jitsi, can I? So I fucking fucked up, didn't I?
It's fine. This is fine.
I guess it is. All right. Let me at least put it up though, so people can sort of see and have a visual cue. But anyways, we're looking for feedback from our buddies in the areas that need a show at a better time, like Mubak, for instance. I think he would probably be a fan of us having a show a little earlier on what would be for him Saturday, I think, or Friday night maybe. I still haven't gotten it quite down yet, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Shit. What else? I had a couple of things for the agenda actually, but what do you guys got? I'm gonna roll it over to you while I build this screen really quick. Actually, you know what I should do is fucking rehost this really quick, cause right now it's not going out. I'll take care of all that. What's up, Not Bear? Okay, all right. Maybe enough people have the fucking alerts on that we are self-sufficient.
Hey, Not Bear, how's it going?
Yeah, it's up, Not Bear, and No Self. This is epic.
Damn, we got a party.
We do have a party. And we were all. I was definitely like about a good second away from being like, yeah, you're right. Let's just not do it. I'm glad we made the decision executively. And then the Illuminati, of course, gave
So what are you
us
crazy
the
fuckers have been
ultimate
up to?
marching orders.
What kind of cool shit have you been hacking over the past week?
Well, they have all those videos of us doing those crazy things that we really don't have any choice than to comply. So that's our life. A little peek behind the scenes of Hacker Rehab. Yeah. Let's get this out to some more people. Let's get this really fucking going then. What's been new in your world? I've been seeing somebody who is on this call acquiring weapons of mass destruction. No, studio equipment. Sorry, I get those mixed up. How's
Yeah.
Weapons of mass distribution.
Mass distribution.
I like.
I am setting up a little streaming studio of my own. It's going fairly well. So you'll be able to see my ugly face eventually.
Yeah,
I
I mean, I figured just fucking let's do it, and I took every light I could find in the house and just blasted it at my face so that you could see every pore and every little imperfection possible. It's great.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried about streaming myself in 4K. Like, does it need to be that crystal? I think I'm better a bit.
It's actually not
hazy.
So it like
but
none of this. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. There's a little delay. None of the streaming providers can get really that good. I'll probably have the best copy, and I can apply some blur if you really want to. But you're fine. Trust me. You're good. You're good. So, any tips for people though? Cause you've been like doing a lot of homework on it. It looked like.
I spend quite a lot of time on YouTube.
Okay.
Mainly getting the room soundproofed and watching a few good channels where other streamers talk about how they got their stuff set up. Okay. So I went and bought some plastic board or some core flute. I don't know what you call it in the US, but the kind of stuff they make retail real estate signs out of. And then I stuck the soundproof foam to that and properly padded out the room.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got a green screen and some studio lights in. That's all working. And I got my DSLR rigged up. But I had a look at my machine, right? And I was like, it's only got 16 gig of RAM and a shit graphics card, so that I'll upgrade that, make sure everything's ticking along just fine. I plugged in 2 more DIMMs of RAM, and now the motherboard won't post. This happened yesterday. Like, I was so looking forward to being on stream and using it.
They're the same speed, right?
Yeah, they're the same speed. You can't even put them in backwards if you tried. I don't know what's wrong.
Usually it's like
I've had to take my desktop back to a repair shop like some confused old man. I'm like, help! My computer machine is totally fucked and I don't know what.
That's great.
The electro box is dead.
Yeah, do I have to hand in my hacker card now? Yeah, it was like this Asus motherboard says every time you chuck DIMMs of RAM into this motherboard, it has to go through a cycle of memory retraining. So you flip a switch on the motherboard, it sits there, lights blink, and it posts and boots and posts and boots. But it just didn't do anything for a couple of hours. I was like, fuck, I'm out of ideas.
That's fucking insane. It has to train the memory. I've never even heard of this before. That's totally insane.
No, I mean, I've had mostly Macs since, and this is the first PC I bought in fucking years. And so I cracked it open. I was like, could have just put the DIMMs in right and turn it on, and happy days.
Now
nope.
You're paying the price.
No post beep, no screen. It's like, oh god damn it.
Now you pay the price.
But in terms of advice, you can do a lot of good homework on YouTube, and I recommend if anybody's looking to get into streaming, have a look at somebody called Alpha Gaming on YouTube. He goes through the right camera setups, how to engage, how to set up OBS, how to do all that stuff, which is really good. Like it's not a steep learning curve, but he's done the learning for you, so you can get a lot of that, shitty mistakes out of the way and that kind of thing. So, do recommend if people want to have a look at that.
What was that last part for? I'm sorry, I missed. It more streaming stuff, or it sounded like it was for something else actually.
Yeah, so the channel I found called Alpha Gaming, he streams a bit of what's it? He streams Call of Duty and stuff like that. But his side thing is, if you want to get into this, if you want to set up your PC for streaming, here's how you do your lighting, here's how you do your sound, here's you set up a mixer, here's how you do OBS. Like, he gives really, really good tutorials. Mm-hmm. Curious has posted in channel by the looks.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, you actually found it? Wow.
Damn. Yeah, there we go.
So
that guy helped me a lot. Like, a lot.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
And we'll put his details up on the Twitter. Actually, you guys should have access to it. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to mess with it or not. We can have this conversation offline. But if you have TweetDeck, you should automatically be able to post to it. Like,
yeah, I've got all of it set up.
It's the uber secret way we delegate access on this show.
Yeah, Moobok, it's not trying to do any overclocking on the RAM or anything fancy. Seriously, it's just updated the BIOS, all defaults, nothing fancy. So
that's cool though. Like, what are you rocking for the the graphics card, I guess?
I got a what did I get? An NVIDIA 2060. Something Zotac cheap brand or whatever else. What I used to build my my streaming rig was just a Plex box that I built a while ago, and it's really not been doing much. So I chucked in, like 64 gig of RAM and a decent hard drive, and went, right, let's go for it. You see how it goes.
That's really nice
and then you push the button, and everything just fried.
Say that again. I didn't hear you, Curious.
So you just push the button, and everything just fried.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Like, that's what I get concerned about whenever, like, talking about freaking like overclocking and stuff, man. No.
I burned so much hardware overclocking. That's why I went and bought a Mac.
Really?
I'm not allowed to open this, so I can have a working computer for a couple of months. When I was a student, the government would give us grants to course-related costs. So we'd just go quote up a bunch of chemistry textbooks or whatever, and then go spend it all on graphics cards and gaming shit, which I would then overclock and blow up.
That's fucking fantastic.
Hell yeah, it is. Oh man, I think
those were the days.
I can even fade you guys in, even though you're just pictures on the screen at the moment. But maybe they'll animate at some point. Yeah, I've been really, really thinking about doing the same thing. I really have. And you're making me really question whether or not I should. I kind of think it's time for a gaming rig, Like, it's been forever. I can't even.
It gets so out of hand so quickly, though. You're like, do I need a 99? Yes, I need a 99. Do I need 4 gig of RAM? Of course I do.
So the setup I have now allows me to game in 4K, and I recently got a NVIDIA Shield to plug onto the TV with wireless keyboard and mouse so that I can just stream in 4K from my PC to the TV, whatever game I have installed,
It gets out of hand real fucking fast.
Awesome. Actually, once I get everything set up, I'll do a bit of a tour and I'll do a hacker rehab show and be like, "Hey, look, this is how I got my first kit."
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Absolutely. I like it. I like it a lot. Does it have serial ports on it?
Does it have serial ports?
Do you remember when that was a thing? Like, there was a transitionary period where you had to like look, if you were an Uber geek, you had to look for the laptops that you were buying and the hardware you were buying to make sure that it had a serial port on it still, because we were still clinging onto it instead of the converters that we use now, obviously. But
so when I was doing car hacking stuff,
yeah,
our IT department ended up buying us all X1 carbons. I was like, I can't use this.
Aren't those the sound cards?
Yeah, well, it doesn't have a serial port, so I can't connect to any of the like engine management stuff I'm working on. The guy was like, "You want a fucking serial port on an X1 carbon? What's wrong with you?" But,
Wait, what? An X1 carbon, I thought was a
yeah, this is like many years ago, right?
Oh, okay. I haven't.
Yeah.
Like, I've been out of it. Geez, over 10 years. Over 10 years now.
But they were fancy. Yeah, they're like, "Here's a $3,500 laptop. Enjoy." Wow. I was like, "I can't use this."
That's the thing. And everybody complains about Apple being expensive, and I'm like, have you seen Razer lately? Because
yeah,
that's pretty fucking crazy. Have you seen Dell? They're all of them end up being expensive in one way or another, you know. I like the simplicity of the Apple stuff, and I honestly think it comes down to laziness and simplicity. Like, but with the ability to dig in deep, because it's BSD, right? So, or whatever it is now, Darwin. But you can dive deep, but you don't have to. Like, you can just double click OBS. Although OBS is the worst example ever because it's such shit. But
OBS by default is just a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know what I just realized though? The chat is not displaying
on stream
because I have the wrong one linked. So let me link the right chat too. Dan's gonna be doing a lot of engineering on this episode, I think. Well. I did have something too, but that just totally fucking threw me off. That the chat's fucked. Did any of you catch the man, I can never think of it. Try me hack or me try hack.
Tryhackme.com.
Me try hack you so long hard. I don't fucking know what it's called. All I know is
Tryhackme.com.
Yeah, I always forget it, and it's ridiculous. But they're great. I love them. And you know, that joke aside, terrible joke. The stuff that they're doing is amazing. I'm digging it.
Yeah, I ended up getting a sub, but because of work being fucking insane, I haven't even started on it.
Yeah,
that's okay. I have a feeling.
It'll be there next week or whenever, you know.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know if I was supposed to do that thing that I did on stream. There's conflicting kind of verbiage, and I didn't want to raise a ticket and be like, hey, can I do this, and then have them explicitly say no. So I just left it alone. But like, they have the head kind of thing, like King of the Hill. That shit ruled. Really
Yeah.
fun. And a
It made me
description.
think of a CDF event in a local con here where it's kind of really similar to shit they have going on at DEF CON. We have multiple teams that are competing for essentially as long as you can stay on other team systems and shit like that.
Yeah.
You have maybe 5 or 6 teams. Every team has a blue team, a red team that's split into 2. You have to defend your own, and then you have to compromise other teams' infrastructure. And however long you can get the flags that keep dynamically changing over time, then that's how many points your team gets. If you can patch your shit faster than the other teams, they can't hack you as quickly. If you find vulnerabilities, you patch them on your shit, you give them to the red team, they start using it against other teams because it's all the same infrastructure that's replicated across the board. Like it's a lot of cool shit.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. That was for a local event too, you said?
Yeah, local up here in on Planet Polar Bear.
Wow. That's impressive. It's hard to find good CTF environments. Although not lately, it's not. But it used to be. Like I remember.
Yeah.
It was hard to find even a barely realistic one, let alone some of the stuff they're doing now. So.
Last year they even had ICS CTF. They had IoT CTFs. There's a whole fucking bunch of shit.
Really?
And for those wondering, this is Hackfest CA at Hackfest_CA on Twitter.
Nice. Let's start a new thing right now where we do shout outs. What is it again?
At Hackfest_CA on Twitter. It's that thing that I told you should come to before we got hit in the face by a fucking pandemic.
Yeah, getting hit in the face by a pandemic is not terribly fun, but there you go. It's up on the screen now. Hackfest_CA. That's why we rate things, because Dan can't talk. Hack this site back in the day, no self site. Hell yeah. Although, dude, I remember, didn't Jeremy Hammond have something to do with building that, by the way? Anyways, that's a like totally random trivia. Hack this site, freaking, they had this Pearl challenge, and I'll never forget it.
Sparkle Ops coming in with a 10 gift sub. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
Say it again?
Sparkle Ops coming in with the 10 gift subs.
Just decided to make it rain.
Holy
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn. I can't even see that. Why didn't that show up? Fuck.
No dramas.
I think one of you might need to sign up for Streamlabs on that account. Because I don't think mine's tied to it. Like, it's only tied to mine. So I only get those, like, follow alerts and stuff if it comes to my account, which my account's not broadcasting at the moment. But
there you go. Got 7 viewers on Twitch, but we collectively just gifted 15 subs. Why? Because fuck yes, that's why.
That's fucking amazing. Curious, which one do you want to list here? I'm doing it in the bottom left-hand corner.
Which one do I want to list? What?
It's probably barely visible. Our ats on Twitter, but so far I just typed in 4 letters of it. I don't know which one you want me to type.
I am honestly not sure what you're talking about. Hold on. Oh, right, on stream. Yep, give me a sec.
Yeah. Cool. See, this is what we call engineering the show during the day. Or during the show. Oh my god. I am just out of it. I actually hosted what's his name? I don't want to pronounce it wrong because he pronounced it correctly on the stream intentionally, and now I know I'm gonna get it wrong. Gillies? I think it's Gillies. It's either Gillies or Giles.
Giles, maybe?
Is it Giles? Okay.
I don't know.
Well, if it's Gilles, that if there's any kind of French in there, that would be Gilles.
Okay. Probably French. Probably some
So
French in there.
Gilles.
I don't know for sure, but I would guess it looked French. I don't know what that means. So anyway, he was like straight up just trying to build a cell phone from scratch on stream, and he had just kind of randomly hit me up, and we were talking, and I was like, hell yeah, let's fucking do this. And so I don't know if you caught it earlier, but I was actually running a bunch of tests, but I was also kind of rehosting them to see what we could do as far as you know, this idea of hacker rehab, which is something that we need to kind of publicly state the charter of. But I did that a little bit on the website today. I made a few changes to it. But one of the changes was just kind of stating what the purpose of this is, because stating exactly what it is, I don't think is possible. I just don't. Not right now. But it's at least easy enough to say that this is something that we're doing not for profit, not for e-fame, not for anything like that. We're doing it to try and lift people up that are doing awesome things. And that's pretty much it. And I thought he was doing an awesome thing. So I don't know. You guys have anything to add on that that mission statement? Because I pulled that one right out of my ass, but I felt like it was a good. I felt like it captured the essence of what we're trying to do.
No, it's the truth, man. We're building a network, right, of awesome stuff. There's so much cool shit going on in this community. Like, it's just good to build up a network, right, and give it some exposure.
Yeah, I felt like it's there is a vacuum a little bit, and I get that there's other people doing hack streams, things like that, but there is no overarching kind of protection in a way for this kind of stream. Like, all it takes is one rule change on one or two platforms to essentially deplatform hackers, right? Like, it almost happened with YouTube, but YouTube heard enough noise that they calmed the hell down and stopped messing with people for now. Although I will say, every single one of the episodes that we do gets flagged, and I have to fucking fight it every single time. And it's because it has the word hacker in it, and hacking. They refuse to acknowledge that there's a word filter, by the way. Okay, whatever, guys. Why doesn't this one get flagged? But I also just got kicked off Vimeo 2 days ago for I was actually gonna try and get us a pro subscription so that we could actually have our own our own platform. But it turns out, not only is that a terrible idea, but it would not have protected us from anything, because I didn't even make it that far. They literally.
Well, shit.
Yeah. So,
what was the reasoning?
I guess what I'm getting at is I keep adding to our network of insane little endpoints that we broadcast out to, and it's cut back right now just because we're cutting over to Hacker Rehab. But I'm sure Hacker Rehab's gonna resurface with Chatterbait and Pornhub and all that, and we're all gonna have Pornhub accounts, and we're all gonna have a good goddamn time. And then we'll also do some hacking stuff too, like getting back to that. That's my dry humor. But seriously, no, I mean, even Pornhub, I can sense is cooling on the hacker stuff. I've just been getting some vibes from them lately. They don't chime in with like smiley faces or anything anymore like they used to. I think there's a conversation. So maybe not, but we got to make friends and keep friends where we can have them, because having a voice and having an outlet's good. That's for sure.
Damn right.
Yep. That said, having a voice and having an outlet, this is the Hacker Rehab show. It is your show. No, it's my show. God damn it. And it's Curious's show. And it's Sparkle. No, I'm just kidding. It's everybody's show. And there's proof of that. Damn it, I always point the right direction. Right there. Call in. 1-424-242-2546. Or go to hangouts.hacker.rehab. You will join the Google Hangouts that is live on the air. Either way, just realize that your first and last name may show up if you join with your first and last name. So maybe don't do that. Or do. Who cares? But if you call in with a phone number that you care about, generally does not go out over the air. However, there's been times where I've had the SIM card in that goes to one of the that goes to that hacking, and it was under the microscope. I'll never forget that. Thank God that guy was using a burner. But you can be part of the show, and you should. If you got something fun you want to show us or talk to us about, do it on up. Just nothing political, please. We've had enough political shit. This is tech only zone.
Yeah, no talking about the annoying orange, please.
Right. Oh man.
By the way, have you guys heard, or do you guys remember in 2014 there was a hack of UPMC, healthcare provider that released like 65,000 employees PII that work in the healthcare sector?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Fucker behind that got caught.
Oh,
Poor guy.
Wow. No, that's not what I thought you were talking about. Didn't DDoS Secrets just dump it?
What do you mean, the 65,000 PII stuff? That was back in 2014.
I think so. I don't actually know now, but it is something I'm going to put up on the screen. DDoS Secrets. I think maybe there's one less S in there. But DDoS Secrets on Twitter is basically our version of Fancy Bear. It's very likely the CIA. But
they are very fancy.
They're doing good work. That's what I think. God bless.
They're doing good work. We love our overlords. Please don't.
Yes. Please don't hurt me.
No, I do not want to go in the van.
Right.
I don't give a shit what candy's in the van. I don't want to go.
I do not want.
But yeah, they okay, so I didn't hear about this. What's the deal? Let me try and pull up the news story while you give us a 4-on-1 on that.
Yeah, so
did the video
seems like it's just some 29-year-old out of Michigan that ended up pulling off the hack and that was selling the PII on dark web forums. I don't know if you guys heard about TDS or DS. That's what he was going around in a couple of different circles. And apparently, according to the charges that were brought against him, he's going to look at around 10 years, which, if you think about it, for 65,000 employees, how much do you guys think he made off of that?
0. Do you think he sold it?
Well, he was trying for sure, but that is the case. He didn't end up getting anything out of it.
Oh, I didn't mean to ruin your thing.
No, that was good.
I was like, who the fuck would buy that? Really? I mean, at the end of the day, like, granted, yeah, it's got some probably useful information for fraud, I guess, maybe, but who doesn't already have all the rest to begin with? Especially when you're in fraud circles. So he was just some dumb kid?
Looks that way.
Crazy.
Got hit with a 43 count indictment. Conspiracy, wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, the works.
That's gonna be a rough lesson. Did they catch him dead to rights or something? Like, how did they catch this guy? I would pull it up, but OBS has decided that it's gonna do some really interesting things on me today. So I have to wait and see what's reality. So
the stream's been really, really smooth as opposed to past times, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I actually have been working on it, but like literally, if you wanted, I should take a picture of it. Half of my screen is literally gone. It's just gone.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So I'm working with half a screen right now. It just stopped rendering the program portion because you get you get a preview of what you're building and what you're queuing up, and then you transition it to the program. The program part of it is gone. It's just gone.
Well, why? Because fuck you, that's why.
Because fuck you, that's why. Yeah, so if it stays on the test colors for very, very, very long, then we know that it's actually sort of working. It's just working in the background, like an elf. But yeah, in the meantime, if you want to give some more detail on it while I pull up the article.
Yeah, actually, I can go ahead and post it.
What was the name of the company?
UPMC.
EMC?
Oh, UPMC.
Oh,
University of
UPMC.
Pittsburgh Medical Center.
UPMC hacker. Let's see if we can get this quickly. Really quickly on a screen. Bam. Fade. Oh, it wasn't test colors the whole time.
Yeah, no self saying it's crazy. People looking at hundreds of years sometimes. It is. It's really fucking insane. Like, to me, what blows my fucking mind, and without wanting to go into any kind of politics, is kind of the same principle of a drug dealer selling like a gram of weed to a kid is going to catch fucking 10 times as much punishment as the pedo that's going to fuck that kid, right? Like, it makes no goddamn sense whatsoever.
It's absolutely.
And this just in, a man from Michigan.
Say it again?
Do what?
I don't know.
What I was saying is, No Self says, gets crazy. People out there looking at 100 years in jail for whatever charges are brought against them.
No,
and I'm saying,
I think we heard that, but there was. It sounded like there was somebody else on the call for a second.
Yeah, they said I heard something in the background. It might have been Sparkle.
Yeah, I think so.
Start a video.
That sound card. I don't know. He overclocked it. It
overclocked the sound card.
Everything went to hell when he overclocked the sound card. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, there's literally rapists that get less time than hackers these days. It's not frequent, and I don't like spreading that kind of propaganda. It's not propaganda because it's true, but I don't like spreading that too much because it's very uncommon for a DA and prosecutors to seek maximums in any kind of hacking case unless you really fuck up. An example of really fucking up would be, let's say you're on trial for something stupid and you say fuck the judge on Reddit on an AMA and I don't care, give me the maximum LOL. What do you think that judge is gonna do? Now, some of you will know which person I'm referring to, and some of you won't. And some of you get to lol, and some of you don't. But somebody actually did that. And then they got the maximum, and we're like, what? Surprise Pikachu. Well, what the fuck happens?
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, son.
Right.
Fucking right.
Oh, my goodness. So it says, man, they doxed him and everything. JSJ, also known by TDS or DS. Why does TDS sound so familiar? Like when
right? I was asking myself the same thing when I read that earlier today.
Did he do like a zine dump or zine dump? Or I never know how to fucking pronounce it.
No, it was just in a couple of forums where I remember seeing TDS around. I just didn't know that he's the one that was dumping all that fucking PII.
Right. Dude, I must be leaning on something.
I remember seeing that shit back in the news like a couple of years back where that one university ended up getting owned, and apparently they just caught him.
Apparently they just what?
Caught him.
Oh, yeah. When was it again? Because this says 2014.
Yeah, they caught him like a couple of days ago, but the hack was in 2014.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, am I looking at the wrong article? But no, this is a current article about 2014. I wish I could actually like stay somewhere on the screen, but this fucking website, holy shit, it will not stay in one place. It's because it's zoomed in and they have like this stupid JavaScript that will not let me keep it zoomed. So sorry peeps, you're just gonna have to squint.
You're just gonna have to squirt too.
Yeah, and squirt.
Speaking of Pornhub and the wall of cocks.
The wall of cocks is exactly where I was going. Yeah, 43 count indictment. That I'm addicted to reading indictments, by the way. I love it. It's you learn so much about the law and what the government and feds and everybody is capable of, what kind of things they can do, what they can't do. They're really eye-opening and they're boring. I assure you, they're boring. However, if you get some time to start reading indictments that they talk about in these, start doing it. It's absolutely well worth your time. That 43 pages, I bet you I'm going to call 2 or 3 snitches probably listed, but blanked out, obviously. There's probably all sorts of fucking craziness in there. It might be fun to go through it if I can find a hot link to it, but I don't want to have to go searching for it through Pacer or anything. But damn, a 6-year case. I wonder if the statute of limitations was about to run out and that's why they had to prosecute him, because statute of limitations for CFAA is 6 years. Max.
Is it?
It's 5 years usually, but 6 years max. In some cases, I forget what.
Oh, right.
There's
a 2-year statute, but that's just for bringing a claim under the act. And then you have a 6-year total after that for prosecution.
I didn't catch what you said. A 2-year statute for what?
A 2-year statute for bringing a claim under the act, and then you have a prosecution statute of 6 years.
Well, 2 years after discovery, though, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that actually that puts a lot of time on it, you know? Like that's not cool. That's actually you might initially hear that and be like, "Oh, cool. That's not too bad. Fuck it." But actually, no, that's a problem.
Like you're pretty much on the run for that whole fucking 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, the 7 years, right?
7 years total. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fucking horrible. Like that's terrible life.
Yep.
Being on the run, I haven't been on the run necessarily, but I've definitely been in hot water, let's say, with the government before. It's not fun at all. Even if you're not on the run, even if you're just like chilling at home, knowing that there's potential for your life to get turned upside down at any moment, not cool at all. Don't fuck with healthcare. Seriously.
No, really. Don't fuck with healthcare. Don't fuck with government in general. Don't fuck with anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, when you think of it, you got a whole sandbox of what? Like 3 billion people?
Yeah, you have
over
a
in
sandbox of 3
China
billion
and
people.
Russia?
Why are you going to play in the cat litter?
Yeah, right? Like anything that ends in RU and CN, have at it. I'm pretty sure nobody gives a fuck. That's how they roll against us, so why not the same way? No offense to my Russian buddies or Chinese buddies, but for real, you guys fuck around with us a little too much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I think it's
Well,
the safest
China-
thing to explore. I really do. If you're looking for real world, I'm not saying do terrible things, because at a certain point they will start working together. And also, you don't want to be having a warrant for your arrest from China and then end up on vacation somewhere where China has jurisdiction and be in a Chinese prison for the rest of your fucking life. So these are things you need to think about. But if you're just exploring and generally not being destructive, but doing things that are a little dangerous, for the love of God, be mindful of it. It's not hard. It's really not. It's so easy.
Yeah, it common sense too. Like, don't go after critical infrastructure. Don't fuck with that shit.
Right. Yeah. Even over there, because that can start wars. It has, and I'm not saying that a rogue hacker is the one that's responsible for the Ukrainian stuff.
Yeah. Like No Self is saying in chat, like, find out what countries have extradition laws with your country, right? Figure out what you can and can't. Just educate yourself on, right? It's all for educational purposes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, even the discussion we're having now is purely just theoretical and for educational purpose. However, one thing I'll add to that, even if there is no, you might get some feedback for a second. Even if there is no extradition treaty, there easily could be an MLAT treaty. And what that is we're going to learn about the law today. It's
Welcome to Hacker Rehab, where we become lawyers.
I honestly, I would not mind talking about hacking laws all day, because
it's actually genuinely interesting, and it's something that I think a lot of folks that have been around for a relatively long time in the field kind of get acquainted to, or at least have a basic understanding of, because it's just so We all in the security field walk a very fucking tightrope,
Right.
and the
Yeah.
only difference between us and the guy that gets an extradition treaty against them is that we had consent from someone somewhere to do the shit that we do.
Right.
A different kind of paycheck.
Right.
Yeah. Or we didn't steal like $100 million from
Right. Or
the banking
65,000
system.
records of healthcare PII shit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, if he was Russian, he probably would have gotten away with it. I mean, for God's sake, they actually are getting away with it left and right, right?
Yeah, straight up.
But yeah, so MLATs exist, and these things, I have it up on the screen here. These things are the silent killers. These are the things that places like, I believe the Ukraine actually has an MLAT with the United States, which you wouldn't think they would, but they do. Moldova, I think, might. They might actually be one holdout. But there's a lot of places that you would never suspect work with United States and or other Five Eyes friendly government agencies, and you will not be safe there. If you go there, they're gonna black bag you and throw you in a van, and you're on a plane back to the U.S. That's how they're getting all these Russian hackers that are part of the FSB. They're going on vacation to places that they think are safe, like Cyprus, I think, is one of them. And they're like, I can go there. No,
Like,
well, you can, but
You would think that the fucking FSB has better OPSEC than just to go places the United States have reach in, but apparently that's not a thing that they all care about for some fucking reason.
I think it's run just like a loose mob over there. I really do. Like it, they they are allowed to commit the crimes that they commit, and as long as they do some good work for the government occasionally, that's that.
Yep.
I think some of them have varying degrees of skill and knowledge, and some of them don't. Maybe not. I'm talking
Which is
purely.
so completely weird when you start considering what the PLA's intelligence apparatus has, where for government agencies, and both private and public, they have roughly, I think the last threat intel that was public is around 240,000 people working on offensive ops for the Chinese government, which is just a fucking mind-blowing number when you just consider the sheer size and scale of what they can do.
That's amazing. Is that a article or anything you've read recently?
Yeah, I'll have to find it. That dates from, I think, 2 years ago. I'll have to find it and send it over.
Yeah,
so it's probably
please do.
now.
Because that really is crazy. Like, wow, 200. So basically, 250,000 hackers.
Right,
Are
250,000 people that are focused on offensive type ops in both private and public sectors, split across different orgs, including like just about every other unit that's public and private right now.
That is amazing. Oh, one thing I just wanted to go back to on MLATs real quick that I thought was really hilarious before we move on is MLATs between the United States and Caribbean nations do not cover U.S. tax evasion.
Oh,
because of
that's
course,
fancy.
We have to protect the rich people. Come on. I mean, they're the ones that pay for the laws.
Yeah, no self-saying when it comes to black bagging. I don't think it matters where you're at. That's them right. They will just fucking send people, take you, and fly you back when you fucked up enough.
Yeah. That's amazing stuff. Anyways, be aware of MLATs. Be aware of laws, all that good stuff. We definitely work with India. We work with lots of countries that you would never think we did. EFF, I think, has some good advice on this stuff. Bagging. Imagine that. Oh, were you adding on to what No Self said?
Yeah.
I'm just catching up on the.
Yeah.
Well, all I saw was bagging because the wall of cocks has me distracted. So, I can.
I mean, who wouldn't be distracted by a wall of squirting cocks, right? Fuck.
There's gonna be definitely people that tune in halfway through that think I actually have a wall of cocks now.
Context, please.
Yeah. No. You don't get any context. Not on Hacker Rehab.
I mean, speaking of wall of cocks, have you guys seen the game Genital Jousting?
When I was a kid, you know.
It's fucking hilarious.
What? No, I have not. It sounds horrifying.
It is. It's relatively horrifying. You need to look that up, dude. I assure you, you'll have.
Not doing that. I'm not trying
you'll
to
get a kick out of it.
Twitch shut down today. Maybe another day. When I'm feeling really emo, I'll fucking put some porn up there and just get it nuked.
I mean, people have streamed it on Twitch. It's just an NSW stream, so.
No, I don't know. I just read over the nudity laws, laws. They essentially are laws. If you really think about it, the fucking platforms these days create laws because we're so dependent on them. These terms of services become laws in our lives.
Basically.
But that's me soapboxing. The nudity stuff on Twitch is like really strict and fucking crazy, but I absolutely can stream shirtless, and I gotta admit I'm about to, cause it's fucking hot in here.
And, you don't have AC in that room?
I don't have AC in the house, dude.
Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, why?
Because I don't pay enough money, apparently.
God damn.
If y'all knew. But yeah, no, it's like really specific. Even just about like male nipples are cool. Female nipples, please no.
No.
And yeah, I wonder if that applies to the 18 plus streams then. I gotta think. I don't know. They were talking about like art and stuff. Apparently there's fucking like it didn't even dawn on me that there would be channels like this that you could see on Twitch, but apparently there's fucking naked art channels all over the place.
Like, yeah, I remember seeing that not too long ago where I was just browsing the just chatting section and stumble on some random chick just painting herself butt-ass naked in front of the screen, and Twitch's like, yeah, cool, this is art, this is fine.
Can you imagine being her and like reading these terms of service updates and then realizing, wait a minute, they're describing that exact scenario from like a couple Wednesdays ago? Because it was, I don't know, it just seemed really specific, the one scenario that they describe, but
sorry lady, you need to keep it Bob Ross on here.
Yeah, it was just her. That was actually the only reason for all the terms of service agreements. They were just not fans of her art too. It was nothing to do with her. It's just they didn't like the colors. Go figure. There was some other interesting stuff that happened this week too. Did you guys notice? I had written some bitchy post about it, but I think I'm mostly muted by everybody at this point, which I don't blame you for. But no, I was bitching about GitHub getting removed from the Google index.
Really?
Yeah. Like a good 70-80% of it's gone.
That really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Because that was the only way to get around GitHub's kind of, I mean, draconian's like an overused word, but for real, like they put all these restrictions on their search results, and security researchers and even people that work for these big companies needed that resource to be able to search. And yes, I get that they probably give API access to like Google to look for Google source code or whatever the fuck. But maybe if I run a company that does military contracts, I can't give you the search terms that I want to look for, and B, don't fucking want to. Maybe it just comes down to that, right? And it almost seems like they've kind of removed the ability to choose on that. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just that the defaults have finally rolled into place, because I know that they were locking GitHub down by default at a certain point. They started locking it down. But do either of you have insight into what's going on with that?
No, I didn't even see that fly by this week.
Yeah.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, just do a site github.com and whatever. The way I noticed it was I had a specific line of code that I know is in at least 3 places on GitHub that used to be searchable, and it just doesn't come up anymore. And like my repos don't come up anymore, and I definitely didn't go out of my way to make them unsearchable. So,
fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's still.
Hey, what about that fucking outage that everyone was screaming DDoS about?
Yeah, what was that? What was that even out again? Was it GitHub?
Some quality intel there with Pew Pew attack maps and hot takes.
Yes. The Pew Pew attack map.
So much better at this.
I don't remember which journalist it was, but whatever they would attach to their articles instead of Pew Pew maps were like flight data that they would just gather up from official sites and put in their articles. I don't remember who it was, but holy shit, that's brilliant.
Wait, what? I must have missed something. What?
So, yeah, there was this huge part of the nationwide outage that everyone was like, oh my god, the United States is getting mass DDoS'd, and it turns out it's probably some dumb motherfucker that misconfigured some BGP somewhere, and rounded themselves to oblivion along with half the goddamn country. But then everyone started coming up with these Pew Pew maps of, oh, DDoS, and everything's pointing to us, and it was all just fucking meaningless shit.
Turkmenistan just fired a red laser at us. Oh my god.
I recall what you're talking about. Do you happen to remember which company produced that that map? I think it was
there's so many of them.
Oh no, it wasn't Fire. It was
There was a specific one though that everybody kept fucking. I'll find it while we're talking. But there was a specific one that showed the U.S. essentially just getting bombarded, is what it looked like.
And there's Mubak that just posted it in chat, where Matt Price retweeted Jordan Daly, and it's just like every other country targeting the U.S.
Yeah. I'm gonna trust this link. I don't even know who I'm signing. Yeah, okay. Signing this HACKER.REHAB. Yeah. Jordan Daly. Smart guy. So, I think this is from Arbor Networks, if I'm not mistaken. And what it's actually showing you, if you look at the bottom real carefully, or not even carefully at all, just look at it. you can see that it's a bunch of dates squished together going back to like 1985. And that's really the long and short of it. This is like a condensed graph from fucking. I can't even see the dates. They're so squished together. But I've played with this map before because it looked kind of cool, and I was looking for a pew pew map. And it's nothing. It's garbage data at best, and obviously we
at
all know
best.
that. I think what happened though is the oddly quiet story from Amazon came out that they were under a sustained 2+ terabit second DDoS. That's interesting, and that's got legs, but nobody's talking.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that would normally be super vocal about it on the Twitter dumpster fire that is InfoSec, and they're just mentioned it here once or twice, but they're not really talking about it.
Yeah. Have you guys heard any theories on, other than probably nation state? Any other theories?
The only thing that I've heard is that it was purely just a test. It wasn't actually supposed to exceed past the minimum capacity of whatever the fuck was targeting them.
Huh.
Okay.
I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, that's the same theory that they had for the Mirai thing too for Dine, and I don't buy that for a second. I think Dine was completely intentional, but I'm not going to get into that because I don't want. There's people that can still be angry
2.3 terabyte minimum viable product in terms of a botnet is pretty fucking impressive. Like,
it's amazing.
You can take down a whole lot of shit with it.
It's amazing, and I'm surprised he didn't take Amazon down. If and I say he, but he just whatever. Dude didn't take Amazon down. Dude's non-binary. So dude should have done homework and looked at the stress points, and they probably could have done some serious damage. And that might be one indicator of why maybe it's true that they didn't intend to let her rip like that. Why am I only getting half the chat? I'm not getting... Well, we'll have chat fixed next time. Buck, I thought so. Oh, maybe it's just delayed? I think it's because it's upside down. It's fucking weirding me out. It is. It's upside down. I'm an idiot. Wow. Where is that traffic coming from the north? Oh, that's Russian traffic, right? I think they're having a conversation about the map in the chat, and it's got me all distracted. Sorry about that.
Well, anyways. I mean, it could be coming from outer space. Who knows? Maybe our alien overlords are like, you know what? Fuck the states.
It absolutely could be coming from the outer space territories very soon. Because you know that Elon's little project absolutely has firmware bugs out the ass on it. And I bring this up solely out of the reason that I posted a video. I didn't even actually take the video. It was my other half that took it. But he took a video of the constellation for Starlink. It was at 3 a.m. on the 17th. But I think on 2 days prior, SpaceX launched Falcon 19 or whatever, Falcon 9. And it, I think there was something like 20 mini satellites that got like deployed. And so like there's this little train of fucking lights that goes through the sky as they like desync and get into alignment or whatever. I don't exactly know how it works, but it right now, if you see it, if you look up and see it, it's freaking insane looking. If you Google Starlink, yeah, just Starlink images. You guys still on the chat, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. There was a little delay there, and I was like, oh, god damn it. You know that feeling, that sinking feeling. No. Here, dude, it looks exactly like this, except for it's fucking... Well, I don't know. Did you see the video that I posted?
Well, we're about to see it now because there's a delay on stream and I can't see your screen through the call.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's coming up now in a minute.
I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I might as well pull up the video. This is what the I'm gonna get yelled at by somebody for calling it the wrong thing, but the star people are gonna get upset about the astronomers or astrologists or whatever the fuck. They're gonna. That's what they've been complaining about, and we've all been kind of like, yeah, shut up and look at your stars. But like now we see what it actually is doing. It's like, whoa, this is fucking not cool at all.